So today on the Daily Coffee Pro, I wanted to talk about this idea of supporting ethnic and religious diversity in our industry. For anybody who is not considering themselves culturally diverse or of an ethnicity. So essentially, if you are a white person and you are unfamiliar with what it is like for people who have to deal with being of an ethnicity. For the record, I am Arab, born in Australia, finding it difficult for a lot of my life to understand where I fit. And that makes it hard to feel welcomed anywhere. But I decided I would continue to find my place no matter what. And it's hard. It is hard to figure out where you fit for all of us. It's not just about your ethnicity and your religious values that make it hard for you to know where to fit. It's hard for everybody. I'm not a fan of the word privilege because I feel like it's like specialty coffee. It's starting to mean so many things. But it's a real phenomenon. And I think today being the day after the terrorist attacks that happened in New Zealand, I figured it was a really important time to start a discussion about how our community, as a coffee community, excuse me, deals with this idea of ethnicity and religiosity. I'm no religion, but I believe that we have the fundamental right to practice the religion we connect with, and we deserve not to be persecuted because of that. And when 50 people are killed in a mosque while they're praying because somebody wants to wipe them off the earth, given that we have a lot of religious people in our community, our coffee community, we all need to take stock of the fact that these people were killed because of their religion and because of their ethnicity. These weren't people who were a terrorist organization that were communing. They were there praying. And you might be wondering why this is appropriate to speak about on a podcast that's called the Daily Coffee Pro. Our community, as much as we would like to think it is compassionate and it is unified and it is together, it's all the underlying unspoken disenfranchisement from whatever perspective you come from that is starting to sprout disconnect and has over the years. We are not as connected as we like to think we are. If we were, people wouldn't be experiencing what it feels like to be caught in the middle of privilege. If we were united, women wouldn't be experiencing the kinds of harassment and abuse that they experience. Again, it's not all women and it's not from all men, but it absolutely happens. We wouldn't be experiencing bullying. We wouldn't be experiencing favoring people because of their race. How do we fix this? Should we be talking about it? This is a very unpopular thing. And I know that there are other people out there who will say to you, just focus on the positive. I'm not here to focus on the rah-rah positive. I am here to focus on the let's get shit done positive. And my heart is breaking at the disenfranchisement I feel when I hear these stories from people in our community who want to leave because they don't feel welcome. They don't feel there's any room for them because they are of this ethnicity or that religion, or they're not going to be accepted because of the way that they look. It is not okay, guys. And I'm not going to sit here and ignore the subject, especially the day after something that happened in New Zealand. A very peaceful, quiet country. 50 people were killed. So how do we move in such disenfranchised times? We live in very weird times. How do we find a path forward? I want to invite you into something that I think is going to be the long-term solution for this. I want to invite you to step into conversation and true discourse with people who are different from you. I want to invite you to have friends that don't look like you. I want to invite you to employ people who bring diversity into your workplace. The reason that this is so important is because cafes are a place that set an example for community around them. And if a cafe is inspiring diversity for the customers that frequent that cafe, it's going to become accepted. We live in such weird times. And more people, as I spoke about in a previous episode of the Daily Coffee Pro, more and more people are contacting me and telling me that they are experiencing deeper senses of depression, almost to the point of suicide. Some of them have been suicidal, and this is all starting to come about in the last couple of weeks. I've shared my stories of feeling the same levels of depression, purely because of the things that I am witnessing online, around the world, in the communities that I'm in, where people are just not taking care of each other. And it is our responsibility to take care of each other and to support each other. I want you to think about how you are challenging your own beliefs. If I, raised a Catholic, and went to extreme lengths to have myself excommunicated from the church, can still be respectful of people's right to practice religion, even though I don't believe in religion anymore. We all should be of that same mindset, of allowing people to find their own path in the world, but being a source of discourse, being a source of challenge. If you see somebody that is engaging in the increasing amount of white nationalism and white supremacy that I'm starting to see in people, there are kind ways to challenge that. There are compassionate ways to challenge that. And there are passive ways to approach that situation. And I would encourage you not to be passive. I would encourage you to enter into conversation together. Look after each other. Your co-workers should be important to you. If you see that they're depressed, check in with them. Don't wait for them to tell you that they're in trouble. Ask them if they're okay. Because people who are depressed don't have the will to ask for help. We've got to do better, guys. Peace, love, and peanut butter. And please, please, please be kind to each other.